Yeah, like I say, all those attack, all those defense. Like, I mean, I was a city builder. I built Spain and quite a few other cities. So when the blacks were attacking me, when the whites and the blacks and some of the cream coloreds were attacking um, the cities, they were running into me. I was the one that was killing them. So, and me and my men. Like I said, we trained all those guys. Either you're the rightful owner of a city or you're not. And they very much were not. And like I say, we had to evacuate the city because of it. And the attack on Spain was a really bad one. Lots of people would talk about that. You know, some of them sometimes the kids would try and help, you know, with the rifles and stuff like that. And it's like, ugh, you really can't. You know, I mean, you can try. I mean, sometimes. Well, I think the women and children. Sometimes there were women and children that would shoot, but they would shoot from, like I say, they would be snipering. They would be sniping like, you know, and then you have the people, the men down below, and they're shooting and the backing up. And like I say, the attack on Spain was a really, you know, basically, I mean, you're the rightful owner of a city, and pretty much these people are just doing a mass attack, rushing you with like 3,000 or 30,000 people, and they're pretty much gonna kill you and go live in your house, and then rape your wife and your daughter, and pretty much that's what they do, you know, when they do mass attacks. So, you know, like I say, the defense of the city of Spain, like I was the one defending. So, which we lost the city eventually. We had to back up, and eventually they did take hold, but then I think we reclaimed it later on. But I mean, like I say, when we lose a city, we generally just fall back and just start shelling the city. It's like there's nothing but rubble usually afterwards. Like we try not to destroy the historic buildings, but and I would say that try not to destroy the historic buildings. Try to shoot around them, please. But we just built those. But okay, you know, if you got to do it, you got to do it. You know, better the building than the person. So anyway, so they would just start. You know, you have the cannons way back in the positions back there, and they're already set up to shoot in those spots, and then you just start shelling. And they'll usually try and go around, and then you hit them with the backup cannon. Like I said, we had it all set up, so it was like these cannons, these four cannons shoot over here, those four cannons shoot from there, and that shoots from over there. And if they're coming over here, we just swivel around to position 60 degrees, and then you have spotters. Like I said, we had night vision. So that's another thing that the blacks nor the whites really truly understood, was that we had night vision and infrared. So we saw them. We could see them. Like my Germans would say, we can see you. We can see them. It's like, yeah, we had the starlight night vision. The same kind of starlight night vision that guy has. The guy was like, Starlight Vision, first sold and whatever. It's like, no, we had it since 1812, and we were improving it constantly. So we had it. The Germans had it, and the rightful owners at city had it. And so, and that's another thing is my people would generally throw away the night. I was like, don't let them get the night vision, because they'll use it. So my people would be like, you know, and just smashing it, and then throwing it in the trash where no one would ever find it, you know, basically, so they couldn't get themselves a night vision goggles, you know, because they'd take it apart and then they would have night vision, and it's like, you know, I mean, it's not really an advantage on, you know, it's just that we lose our advantage, or they know we have an advantage. So anyway, they would always smash the night vision before. Everyone always knew, smash the scopes. So they would. They'd usually have a hammer or something, and then you pick up the pieces, put them in a backpack, and run, you know, and then throw them in a specific spot where no one would ever find them, like down a drain or something. And they're just flat pieces of metal by then. All the glass is broken, everything's broken. So most they find is pieces of glass, and it's like, yeah, that's all they ever found, pieces of glass. So where we had smashed the night vision goggles and the scopes. So anyway, then we threw them down a drain, I guess. That was the plan. So Yeah, and then they wouldn't get the night vision or the good scopes, because once they got them, then they would start using them on us. We built them, so anyway, and we just fell back and fell back and fell back some more, and we kept falling back. I mean, it got bad. Like we were falling back all the way back to what's called. I mean, I was hoping that they would just turn around and go back and just say, "Oh well, you know, it's all destroyed," but no. Anyway. Anyway, so yeah, and then you know the attack it went all the way through Spain and all the way up Spain. Basically, it just kept coming. Once they breached the defenses and they get the cannons, then well, not only will they use them against us, and it's like you can't really destroy a cannon. There's no way to remove a cannon. It's just they're too strong, you know. So basically, they're going to be used against us. You know, we'll have to reclaim them later on, which would be another mission, basically. Because we can't really take them with us. We couldn't move them fast enough. Somewhat. Sometimes we'd have cars there, I think, to move them. But realistically, they're just taken. Mostly they're old cannons, though, anyway. And we'd have multiple defense lines. Like I said, people thought that it's like, this guy going against... The French are going to go against these guys, and that guy's going to go against... No, it's all the way around. Everyone's pointed out. Everyone was pointed away from Germany. All the attack lines, it's like we go here, we go here, we go here, and everyone knew you back up into Germany, basically. Everyone knew to back up into Germany. And where we hold the line is where we hold the line. But basically, you know, they squeeze up against my gates in Germany and then they come in, basically, pretty much. And I don't really like to just let people in, but I mean, you know, I'm not gonna force them to die out there. So I wasn't gonna let them die. You know, because what the Africans would do to them was far, far worse. And I was like, no. I always would say let them in. And that's why people love me. That's why people love Germany. It's like, you know, we tried to... It's a perimeter around Germany. They would fly a perimeter. Germany was the center point of Europe, basically. So as Africa came up in, we'd try and get down there as fast as we could and defend, and then they would fall back to us. You know. And, you know, like I said, our one weak spot was actually around that lake right there. Like, you have Germany and then you have the lake, Poland or whatever. That lake, well, I mean, it was a defensive spot because it's harder for them to cross and it's easier for us to pick off. But the problem was, of course, you know, there's that one little ridge right there, and that was they could run up and they would run across. Like, that was our weak spot. It was above that lake. So, or above the channel right there. I forget. It's above. It's not quite to Germany, but it's like right there. And they could get around on that. So, which is basically, I think, what they did. So, and that's how we lost Germany. Is they came around, they came up, and then they came in the back door by just above that lake. Like I said, we held them in Spain. We could keep them there, but they got in through the other side. They came up and around and jammed in. And they had some guys on their side to let them in, so they they shot those soldiers were just above the lake right there, on coming in a little ways. We had a line of walls right there, a defensive line, and the French were in front of us, but they got breached, so they ran back into us, and I think, and basically they punched through right there, and what it was there some other people that came around from behind. Some sympathizers, and basically killed my guys from behind, you know, as sabotage. And they cleared the ways for the French might have actually been attacked from the back. Anyway, though, they got some sympathizers in Germany and basically shot a couple of people. They promised them all kinds of things and this and that and blah, 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 and then they killed them. I was like, that's what you get! They hung them, so. Like, idiots. They're never going to trust someone that betrayed their own kind. So, of course they hung him.